What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Big Brother Canada 4, episode 15. This is Reality Room Podcast, episode 10, with Paul and Chris.
We're mastermind geniuses! Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Big Brother Canada 4, episode 15, which just aired this Sunday. I believe it was April 3rd, correct?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
Alright, so let's just jump right into it. So we start off with the vote. They're kind of deliberating on which player between Kelsey and Levita they think would be best to come back. They're kind of going around with their choices. Like, so a lot of people are bringing up some good points on why Kelsey would be better. They said that she would bring on like a better mood around the house. You know, she's more lighthearted.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then some people are saying, well, Levita would be a bigger target, so she would be easier to get out. You know, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So they do this for like a minute or two. It seems like, you know, Joel obviously wants Levita to come back.
Exactly, right.
You know, and, you know, it seems like the people, this is just what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the people that wanted Levita back in, they were staying quiet. And that's what it was like confusing to me. It's like the people that wanted Kelsey to come back were very, very vocal. So I felt like Joel didn't say a lot. I felt like Nikki didn't say a lot about Levita. You know, it was just very confusing to me. Yeah. So anyway, then they bring on the big reveal. And honestly, my heart was racing. Although I originally thought Kelsey would come back in just because I thought the house.
I thought the same thing too, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we found out, like, after they showed that episode, that on the Big Brother Canada 4 website, you were able to vote Kelsey or Levita back in the house.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by the results a little bit.
What were the results? I actually didn't take a look at that.
As in, like, who got back into the house. I was very surprised.
You mean
because America voted who got back in the house. I was like, wait a minute.
No. The house got to vote, but like.
Then what are the? I'm sorry, like.
It was pointless. I don't know what the hell it was for.
This is because I was actually talking about this on the Big Brother Group podcast, and I told him that like on the website you're able to vote, but like if it doesn't mean anything, what was the point of voting at the?
Yeah, I don't understand the point of that.
Was that like a popularity thing or something?
I have no idea, but
so pretty much Kelsey got in the back in the house based on the house guests.
Yeah, based on the house guests. So the house guests wanted.
Try it, guys. Team Levita.
I don't really understand why they decided on that. You know, personally, I thought that wasn't the best thing for.
So like they all had to come up as a group together, and they just ended up doing it. How long until?
How long until what?
Like they came up with the decision eventually.
They just showed like a few minute clips. It didn't seem like it took a long time at all. Oh, okay. So then they just announced it to Levita and Kelsey. Levita wished Kelsey good luck. You know, whatnot. Yeah. You know, and you know they're like best friends.
They're like best friends now. They've been receiving information back and forth between the two of them. They've been watching the house guests for a really long time.
Yeah. And
shit is going to be hitting the fan, guys.
Yes.
Kelsey knows all this information. The two opposites were able to share, you know, with what people were telling them. And it's going to help them. It's going to help Kelsey a lot now.
Exactly.
It's going to get a lot further than before.
So I want to talk about when Kelsey first walks back into the house. So obviously everyone walks up to her, and she's in like the diary room. She's like, I deliberated with Levita so much. I feel like I'm a much more strategic player now. I can't play just like a solely social game. She wants to play more strategically.
Yeah.
And that's just what she wants to do. And, you know, I understand she has all this information now and she needs to know what to do with it. Right. So, you know, everyone's barraging her with questions. They're like, oh, what did you see? And she's like, yeah, I was basically watching without sound 99% of the time except for comps, which was... I'm not entirely sure what the situation was with there. I'm pretty sure that they were able to hear things sometimes. So I don't know if they were just able to hear the comps. I think maybe that was a strategic wording by Kelsey, which, you know, good for her. Yeah.
She can lie too and say whatever she wants. But like she is telling the truth about it, so that's good.
Yeah, so she's being pretty honest about it. Then they kind of have like a welcoming back party, and that's when Kelsey drops the bomb to Jared about Mitch. So Jared, they're like in the kitchen together, and this is during the party, and Kelsey whispers to Jared about Mitch's hands in getting her out of the house, and how he was playing the middleman, trying to pin Dallas's group against Jared's group. And I am blowing up so excited because Mitch's game finally getting blown up. How did you feel?
Oh my god, I've been waiting for this moment. Mitch has been playing the middleman for way too long in this game. He's never been nominated for eviction.
Yep.
He hasn't won a veto competition. He hasn't won anything, you know, at head of household either. So it's about time that we're finally, like, when I heard in the episode, which we're going to talk about later, when I hear Kelsey say, Mitch is now my target, I'm like, oh my god, yes! This is what we were talking about.
We've
been waiting for this for a really long time now.
We did it.
And this is the time where this is the strategic part. We're playing the fucking game. Who knows who's gonna win now? Because everyone's like, oh, Mitch is gonna win. So now this is gonna get really interesting this season.
I completely agree.
I'm excited about
100%. So Kelsey ends up telling Jared, and they both agree they should keep quiet about it. Then Raul pops up and they tell Raul, and Raul's like, Raul is devastated.
Yeah, I saw that.
This past week, Raul and Mitch have become like best friends. They've become so close.
Yeah.
Because you all remember Mitch's strategy. He mentioned this in the diary room a few weeks ago, that during when Kelsey was on the block, that his goal was to have Kelsey leave and become new glue between Jared and Raul. And in a sense, I feel like that has worked.
Yeah.
But it's been blown the fuck up by Kelsey. So Raul kind of has like a little emotional breakdown, and the issue is he confronts Mitch
About the whole thing, yeah.
Oh my god. And Jared
is pissed off. He brings him into the storage room, just freaks the fuck out. Like, why are you doing this? Like, we've had your back this whole entire time. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to our game right now?
Yeah.
You're ruining everything. And then we see Mitch going to the storage room, hearing behind the door, and he hears everything that they're saying.
Oh my god. It's like it's just like one of those things, guys. Like, Raul, you have to learn to keep your mouth shut. You're playing a game. You're against
everyone else, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When you hear someone that you think you trust and you hear legitimate information from your best friend that you can't trust them because they went against us, you have to learn to be quiet, at least until the HOH is won.
Yeah, which, thank God, we're going to get to that
right.
like
we'll
now.
Get to that
we're going to
later.
get to that now.
So before that, I just want to talk about some little funny tidbits they had. They had Nikki make out with Nick, and poor Felipe, I'd say, because apparently Nikki's like, they asked Nikki, who are the two people that you were sexually attracted to? And she's like, Tim and Nick. And I was like, oh my God, poor Felipe, oh no. And then Nick made out with her for 10 seconds because they were playing Truth or Dare.
Oh, God. Between Nick and Matt, I can't tell. But yeah, between Nick and Matt, I can't tell who's a bigger whore. You really can't.
Well, in Nick's defense, it was a dare. But,
yeah.
I feel bad for Felipe because we all know that Felipe's got this huge crush on Nikki. Where? All right, so anyway, let's get to
the head of household competition. All right, so the style is like this god, has like this Hercules type of theme to it.
A little grease
Everyone's
action.
wearing, some grease action. And it looks pretty cool competition, not gonna lie. Yeah. Tim's hosting it, and the house guests, I forgot how many people are actually in this.
I believe it's 10.
Yeah, I think 10 too. So they have the option, well, they don't have an option. Out of randomness, they have to do 3 different type of competitions. So the first one is, the first group has to hold up a sword on their head, right, which looks like seems like a pain in the ass.
Do you have the 4 people that were doing that?
I believe it was Cassandra, Kelsey, Joel, and
Ramsey, I believe.
I think it's Ramsey, yeah. Because I have it on here. That's right. So they were doing that. The second one, it was called the Eternity of pushing up a ball. They had to like hold it down, like make sure that it wasn't falling on the floor.
If you guys don't know, like, the whole philosophical thing of like pushing a boulder like limitless forever for the rest of your life, it's some little philosophy.
That's the third one too, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, you mean hold up? Okay.
I was talking about the second one. Is like they have like a little platform. They have to hold up a ball for a certain amount of time. And I'm not gonna lie, of all 3 of them, that sounds like that looks like it would be the easiest one.
Yeah, and I believe
the treadmill one seems like you would have to physically be capable of doing that. The other one's more of like hand coordination.
And the ball one, I believe it was Maddie, Nikki, and Raul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the pushing of the boulder
was Mitch. Figures it's Mitch, Jared, and Nick.
And
Maddie too, I think.
No,
it wasn't Maddie. It was somebody else.
Maddie was holding the ball. It was only 3 of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so, it was them doing that, and that seemed like a pain. Like, it didn't seem like it was too bad at first.
Yeah, the running one seems like it's easy, but then, when it increased, like, the speed increased, it seemed like it was really, really difficult.
It looked like it picked up a lot later. I think the sword one was by far the hardest.
Yeah.
Because all those people got knocked out.
Yeah, they all got knocked out right away.
I feel like this was something that they probably needed to trade.
Yeah.
Because they could have traded during the HOH. I don't know. I just thought it was a little bizarre.
Yeah, I thought it was too. All right, so in order, who gets out? Maddie's the first person to get out.
she's like, oh, I need to win this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Ramsey gets out too. Kelsey gets out. Cassandra.
Ramsey making himself useful.
Joel, Nikki. Poor Nikki.
She falls asleep on the ground later.
I know. I was about to mention that. Jared's out, and then Nikki's sitting on the floor, laying down. She's pretty tired, so she's like, yeah, I'll just sit on the floor.
Nikki's ridiculous. I mean, I love it, but still, I don't know.
It's a little over the top. Mitch is out, and then it's between Nick running on a treadmill and Rael holding up a ball, and obviously Mitch is out. Nick is out too. You couldn't, he's a big guy, so him running on the treadmill is gonna take forever. So Rael is the head of household finally.
Ooh.
Boo.
Or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about this anymore because of Kelsey and Jared's new information about Mitch. At least my initial reaction was, I don't know.
That's how I felt too. I was like, okay, whatever. Like,
I was like, this might be a good week. But it also made me think that because Rael won this HOH, that this group of three is now going to dominate this game.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That's exactly what I thought. It's like, okay, Kelsey, Rael, and Jared, I think they have this in the bag to make it pretty far. Or at least one of them. I feel at least one of them is going to make Final Two. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
They're winning a lot. Mm-hmm. That's just my personal
I don't know why they would bring Kelsey back in the first place.
Because they're morons.
They could have got Levita out and called it an easy week, too.
It's because Dallas wasn't there to talk them into it.
Yeah.
If Dallas was there, you can bet your asses that
they should have voted out, like, I don't know, they should have voted out Maddie over, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was saying before.
Nikki was talking about that on the live feeds. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So
what happens is after Rael wins head of household, he has to choose 4 have-nots right away. So obviously, he chooses Joel, who's a have-not for the 3rd time in a row. And, he pretty much said that since Joel nominated him, he's going to return the favor.
It makes sense.
And then he chooses Ramsey, Maddie, and the brothers because they were never on slot before, or they were never have-not.
To make this, I feel kind of bad for Joel because at this point he legitimately thinks like he's a huge target right now.
Yeah.
Because he legitimately thinks, okay, I put them on the block, and because of that, they probably want me out.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to empathize with what he's feeling right now because he doesn't know they have this information on Mitch. Although Mitch talks to Joel about it afterwards. Mitch
which is really awkward and weird.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. But before that, Kelsey's talking bad about Mitch to Jared. Maddie and Nikki are mad at that Kelsey's back.
That's
girl
not
jealousy.
surprising.
I'm not surprised by that.
All right, so
Tim and Nikki believe Rael and Kelsey think they're exposable. How do you feel about that? Like Tim and Nikki's conversation in the bathroom.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly how I think about it. I'm not sure if the house actually thinks that way about them. Like, I'm sure...
They were never nominated for eviction.
No, they were never nominated.
And they were never on their short list either.
And that's why they're not disposable, because disposable people are
would be like pawns and floaters.
Are
and
used
like
as pawns, so they were never used like that. So I don't know why they would think that.
I don't know either.
It was just
weird.
like, oh, we want someone from Canada to win. I don't think anyone really cares too much about
it's
that.
Not that big of a deal.
Well, it might be because we're American, but
so Nikki's pretty much saying
Sorry, Canadians.
Yeah. So Nikki's pretty much saying like everyone's bullshitting her. Kelsey's trying to convince Rael to put up Mitch, and she wanted to expose Mitch for the person that he is in this game. And Rael finds out about it. Kelsey said he can win this whole game, and Mitch is trying. Then we find out that Mitch is trying to convince Joel that he had nothing to do with Joel's nominee, and Joel doesn't want to take a bullet for Mitch because Mitch is playing everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Mitch. You can tell Mitch is getting pretty desperate right now.
Yeah.
When he's like purposely asking for like very, very.
And that's how you know when
someone's favors.
And that's how you know someone's really lying, because if they're switching their persona up and they're getting worried, that means it's true.
Yeah.
And he has to watch out for that. He should just like, I didn't. Why would you think I would say that? Like,
there's something on Twitter that people noticed, and it's that whenever Mitch talks honestly, he looks you right in the eye, and whenever he lies, he kind of like looks away.
Yeah, and that's kind of what he was doing.
That's kind of like what he's been doing lately.
So let's talk about Rael's nominees. Mostly we're going to talk about a short list first. He puts Cassandra on a short list because he doesn't think she's trustworthy.
She's not.
The brothers are also on the short list because they never give him any information. Joel's on a short list for payback.
I totally gotta get a payback. He put me on the block.
Payback. And Mitch because he's a mastermind. So he nominates Joel and Mitch for eviction.
And Rayo was wearing that classic dress that he always wears.
Yeah, which is whatever. And the episode was pretty good. I like these nominations. I like fucking Ryul.
Yeah.
Figures Ryul is the one that's making this big move, and I'm liking the season.
You know, you have to thank Kelsey for this. And
you have to thank Levita.
Levita and Kelsey, because obviously looking around the house, she would have figured it out. But I'm glad the two of them were able to pull their information together and really, try to work out who's really ruling the house right now.
Yeah, and Kelsey in the episode was talking about how they were doing the Skittles, or they were trying to calculate who's going after who, and they realized that Mitch is in the middle of everything.
You have to realize here that if you think about every eviction, I believe Mitch always got his way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think about it, especially last week. Everyone, during the last day, everyone was thinking that it was going to be Maddie gone. For the whole week, it was going to be Dallas, but then the last day, things were starting to change, and then Mitch went into total offense mode, and it just is what it is, guys.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, so let's talk about live feed and spoilers.
Woo! All right, guys, so this is live feed stuff, so we're going to reveal pivotal information about things that are happening in the Big Brother house since, the feeds got back on a few hours ago. We're airing this, we're shooting this on Sunday night.
Yes.
But pivotal information that we've just found out very recently. So if you guys don't like spoilers, get out now. Blah, 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 blah.
Pack the bags.
X out that screen.
I don't want to be in this room anymore.
And give this video a subscribe to the channel. All right, so first thing for spoilers, Chris.
For spoilers, right after the nomination ceremony, I believe on Hamster Watch they revealed who won the Power of Veto, because it started on Saturday, and Jared won the Power of Veto, which I believe is his second. Is this his first POV that he won?
I don't remember. I think it was his first.
Yeah, so this is Jared's first Power of Veto that he won.
Yes.
And odds are he's probably not going to use it.
No, I
don't think he would. It's too risky.
Although we haven't really been been able to watch the feeds for the past.
We'll know by tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure he's not though.
But he's not going to use it. No. If Kelsey doesn't want it to happen, Jared's not going to want it to happen.
Yes, because they're a duo or a trio. I don't know. All right. So other information. Apparently, Mitch had an interesting conversation with Raul about if he's going to keep contact with him outside of the house. Mitch basically told Raul, he's like, yeah, I have a lot of, it's like I already have a lot of close friends I like better than you, so I'm probably not going to keep in contact with you outside the house.
He's pulling a Frankie.
And I was like, holy shit, he's throwing shade.
Pulling a fucking Frankie. I hate that.
Well, I mean,
because he's a big YouTube star, and I don't know.
No, he's a good guy. I like Mitch.
In the game, outside, people can be different. You never know. You never know. In the game, you might be different. I'm just saying.
No, I don't like him in the game. I like him as a person.
You don't know, but you don't know Mitch outside until you actually meet him in person, people in person.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I've met a couple of Big Brother reality stars, and some of them are completely not like what they are in the actual show.
All right, that's fair. But,
I'm just saying.
All right. Well, another thing that just happened on the feeds very recently is that Mitch was having a conversation with Nikki, and it seems like he's trying to pitch to her him staying or whatever. So he's saying all the things like, "Oh, I'll be going after Kelsey, Raul, and Jared," and he's like, basically the things that Dallas was trying to pitch last week about him going after Jared and Raul, which is it's kind of funny because Mitch got him.
Which is kind of weird because if Mitch is telling us, Joel's gonna go after. Joel's gonna go after those three. So Mitch telling them the same thing's not gonna help.
Yeah, and Mitch
has to change it up a little bit.
Mitch was saying for some reason that Joel would be afraid to go after them. He put them on the block 2 weeks ago. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
Is that it for live feed and spoilers?
I think, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, they just got back on, so we couldn't really get too much going on.
Yep.
So I guess we could just go into my favorite part, reality room news.
Yes, and my least favorite part, because I don't do any of this research.
But it's always fun to see what's going on with reality room news. So
it's basically where I just stare at Chris.
I would make weird faces.
And he yells at me. So go on, Chris.
Okay, so some reality room news. Obviously, Big Brother 18 casting calls are still going on. They had one in Pennsylvania, and someone did an interview with Johnny Mac asking for advice, and he said, and I quote, "Just get in there and let all your weird out. They're trying to put a bunch of crazy people in the house." Johnny Mac. I got this from Times Leader, and it seems like I saw a couple pictures too. Like someone was like, "Don't go to a casting call and dress up as Superman." Why? I mean, what do you think about that? Like people dressing up as costumes, like.
I think that's a little dumb. Like, listen, okay, unless you're like a professional like cosplayer or something, unless you maybe go to conventions and actually do cosplay, because maybe that is the real you. I don't know. I'm not judging, but if you don't do that like fairly often, don't dress up as Superman. That's stupid.
It is pretty stupid. And one of the things Robin Cass said in one of her videos is like,
so stupid.
Don't go into a casting call, dress up as a caveman because unless you're gonna dress up as a caveman throughout the entire show.
I'm going to dress up as a caveman the entire show.
You should go in there. I mean...
But I got the beard going.
So I want to talk about another podcast that's going on. Big Brother Group, I believe Julesy or Missy Z and somebody else, I forgot what his name was. I'll tell you that next time. But they're doing their podcast too. It's pretty cool. Every Friday they do one. Go to BigBrotherGroup.com. I'm pretty sure it's there. Missy Z, if you're watching this, I gave you... I hope you're doing good.
I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing well.
I know you will. I'm the best friend, Paul.
And also, the Big Brother. She also mentioned that Big Brother 18 premiere batch is going to be happening on Wednesday, June 22nd, I believe. And it's going to be a big turnout because
it's going to be lit.
One day. Are you definitely? It's only going to be one day. Yeah.
Oh, it was one day. I'll go.
And she said that 2 people from Big Brother 17 are going to be on it, and they're unexpected. So I'm thinking to Austin or Vanessa, maybe.
Maybe.
And Jules, she was like, if Vanessa goes in, I'm not going. I'm like, I kind of want to see Vanessa. I'm kind of curious on how she is.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how her poker career is going lately.
I want to ask her a couple. I also want to see Austin too. Austin did some podcasts before he went on Big Brother too.
I like Austin. More after the show.
Yeah, more after the show.
No one liked Austin during the show. No offense to the Austin fans out there. There are a few in number.
Yeah. Also, I got 2 more things left. The last one's not really news, just something I pull on Instagram.
All right.
The third one is Sequester. Axis is a game that is made by Audrey Middleton. The first season was done. It was pretty...
And they're doing a season 2.
They're doing a season 2.
I saw Chris tweet about that.
Yeah, I
recently.
Did. Oh, yeah, I did.
You tweeted to her.
I tweeted to Audrey, and she pretty much was telling me to apply for it, and I did yesterday. And she's like, yay! And
our buddy Chris might be on it.
Who knows? If I could get the votes, last time I didn't, so I don't know.
But I'll be doing the podcast for myself for a week.
Yeah, because I don't want them knowing my game. Well, no, not really. But season 2 of Sequester is starting up. If you are really big on strategic gameplay, I would do it. It's pretty fun. And there's a lot of people from the first season that are giving people, tips on how to get on this, online reality show. Fuck
what are you laughing at?
You're just like...
I'm just nodding in agreement.
All right, so 80 more days till Big Brother 18 starts, and the last news is that I saw a picture on Instagram. I'm gonna post it right now. McCrae Olsen from season 15 also applied for Big Brother. Who knew he would apply again for the show?
Maybe he wants to get on All Stars.
I don't know. Maybe. Who the fuck knows?
In his defense, he didn't really get to play his season that much because it was basically he was in a show. Yeah, it was in a showman's. Yeah. I know he's a really big fan of the show.
I want to see people that break up and then just go back on playing as a solo game. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. I feel like McCrae is a super fan of the show.
Yeah,
and him not being in the showman's within the house would actually be a lot better.
I like to see Austin by himself.
Yeah, I feel like Austin would have done a lot better if he wasn't in the showman's.
I like to see Jeff by himself.
Anyways, no.
I would. What are you trying to say? What are you looking at me? Brendan, I'd like to see by himself.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think Brendan would do a good job by himself.
Yeah,
but
Rachel, we saw by herself.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the reality room news I got for this week, guys. And I'm sorry for the short episode, but not really much happened in one episode.
We're mastermind geniuses.
Yeah. Also, okay. I also want to point out one more thing. This has nothing to do with reality stars or I hate you, just staring. But if you live in Staten Island, one of my good film friends, Matt Provenzaro, I think that's how you say his last name, is having a film, The Isle of Mine, at the Atrium in Staten Island, New York. You get to go in there for free, and you get to watch a movie for 90 minutes. You can bring food and drinks, and there's a Q&A after. Just want to give that, him a shout out because he got me into filming and this whole podcast thing. I know you don't know him, but
no idea.
He's having it on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and you get to go in there for free.
Okay, well, cool. Maybe I'll check it out.
All right, so that's it for Reality Room News, and take it away, Paul.
All right, so this has been Reality Room Podcast, episode 10 with Paul and Chris. So until next time, guys, peace.
Later, Gator!